Hello Vapors, it's Maverick here again. I just did a video where I showed you the insides of a switch 2 or bud cartomizer, and what you're looking at here is let's do it this way. Here's a complete cartomizer, okay, intact, and here's an exploded version which has been taken apart, starting with the bung, the tank. There's a little half moon shaped silicon plug because you have two chambers inside here, one for the airflow, one for the liquid normally. That's why it's half moon shaped, because it's to block the liquid off and let the vapour up. And then you've got atomizer assembly here with the piece that holds the wick and sits in the fluid, and at the bottom you've got the atomizer itself, which has a little cup inside, silicon cup with a heating coil in it. Now, if you want to see how that's all taken apart, watch my other video. But what I'm going to show you here is a quick mod which you might find useful, because when your atomizer gets hard to draw on, or the flavour starts to get nasty, what I showed you in the last video was, if you take it apart, you'll probably find an atomizer and an assembly that looks like this. I wonder if I can show you that with a magnifying glass. It's not reversing a trailer. No, I can't capture it very well. What you've got is the atomizer, a ceramic cup and a heating coil, and this is the wick, which is actually feeds through the remains of the wick, which feeds right through the coil, through the middle of the coil. You can see it's poking out either end. It's dirty, it's been refilled probably a dozen times, and the wick's, holding a lot of old liquid. It's hard to draw on, and you don't get a very good flavour from it. And what I suggested to you was that you don't really want to let your cartomizer of any brand get to that stage. You want to throw it out. You don't want to be vaping on that. But there is a mod you can do, and that's what you have to do. Is once you've taken it apart, is remove all this wick from the coil. You just pull it out. It can be fiddly to do, and it can take some time, and you can break the coil while you're doing it, and then the atomizer won't work. So you have to be interested in doing a mod, and patient if you want to do it. The price of these things, it's hardly essential that you do it to get more out of them, but you can. Anyway, put that to one side. Here's one. This one, I already cleaned that out earlier, and you're left with just the coil in there. It's really hard to get good light, but you've just got the ceramic cup and the coil, and I've removed all the old wick. You can do that, don't throw it away. Okay, you can throw this piece away, which held the wick inside the liquid, and took it down to the chamber. We're done with that. What you're left with, let's move the whole cartomizer away. Let's move these bits away. And you're left with this tube, and you're left with the atomizer. Okay, now you can mod this for dripping, whereby you direct drip onto the atomizer, and you can use this cartridge. All you have to do is, as you can see, if you've got your own, you'll know this, but the neck is in two parts. There's a narrower part where it's separated. Here it allowed the air to come up through the airflow chamber and kept it separate from the rest of the tank. What you need to do is, at the top of that collar, is just get a craft knife like this and just cut it off, okay, because you don't need it anymore. Don't slice your fingers off when you do it. I did one earlier. When you've done that, it's not very pretty, doesn't matter, you're left with one that looks like this. Can I show you the difference? See the difference? I've just sliced the top off. So what you're left with, when you do that, instead of a tiny little hole for filling, you've now got a nice wide chamber. Okay? And you take your atomizer and coil, having checked that it's still working first, and let's show you that. Where's battery? Let's pop that on a battery. This is interesting if you've never seen it. This is what's actually going on inside your e-cig. When I press the button, pretty bright, isn't it? But that's just the coil heating up in the middle of a ceramic cup. And it normally heats up with liquid in a wick. Okay. You can just take that. In fact, it's easier. And put it back into your tube, into the tank, and push it in nice and tight, like so. Now I can't guarantee when you've done this mod that you're not going to get leaks, because it's been taken apart and it's not meant to be, and you pushed it back in and it's not meant to be, but I found it worked pretty well. Stick that on your battery. And what you've got effectively here is a huge drip tip that allows you to drip down onto the atomizer. Now you could cut it down even shorter, but I've left it that long because I just want to put a mouthpiece on it still, and the mouthpiece will still go over and click on. So you're then ready to direct drip using a drip tip. And I'm going to use some Juicy Vapor root beer float because it's got quite a complex flavour and it works well. And you just put your nozzle in the top, drip a few drops in, and away you go. And I'm going to show you that in part 2. So if you want to learn how to mod a switch to cartomizer or a bud cartomizer that's otherwise not much good to you, and use it as a direct drip tip, come back and watch the second part. Thanks for watching. Don't smoke, vape,